My mother was a bum magnet. Married about 7 times, and 3 of them were violent alcoholics. So my sisters and myself were being beaten, sisters molested, and I got involved in martial arts through a friend of mine that I knew very well. And I asked him, where did he learn how to kick? And so I started from there and went on, and it helped during those times that I needed to protect me and my sisters. There's 3 of us that were born from my father, and then my baby sister was born from another gentleman. So we fled to Miami, and my mom still had the terrible habits of picking the wrong men in her life. So abuse was still going on. And finally I had a belly full of it, come about 18 years old, and went into the Navy. I was troubled. For many years, I had a lot of bitterness, anger, vengeance. I had vengeance in my heart for what had happened to us as kids. My wife and I were at a non-denominational service. We were in the Amway business, and we got saved. And I didn't let go of some things. And it haunted me. In fact, it actually about ruined my life. I abused steroids. I never wanted to be that little Gary to be picked on. It was during the summer, and I was on the couch. It was about 98 degrees outside, and I had a winter coat on. And my wife was headed to church. She goes, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "I don't know, I'm freezing." They rushed me to the hospital, and sure enough, I had basically polluted my bladder. While I was there, a gentleman by the name of Jim Kilpatrick, and everybody knows him as Poppy. He was my Sunday school teacher at Trinity, and he came into my hospital room. He said, "Gary, I know your story, but can I ask you a question? Have you ever forgiven those people?" And man, I looked around and I was like, how in the world does he know? Because even though I was saved and I was working in a Sunday school class, I'd come home and get on the internet and try to find those men. I wanted them to experience the horror that my sister and myself went through. That's what anger and bitterness and all it will do to you. Make you do things that beyond reason. And I looked at him and I said, "Jim, I'm tired." And I said, "I would like to." So we got on our knees, and I labeled every one of those men and gave them to the Lord. And man, the nightmare stopped. The shame, the anguish, the anger. Man, I was a horrible person. Who was I to hang on to unforgiveness when God forgave me? In Ezekiel, it talks about a man with a hardened heart. And when I finally forgave those individuals, my heart went from stone to flesh. I should have let it go. I should have let it. I didn't realize that that Christ took everything to the cross. I didn't realize that. Forgiveness doesn't erase the hurt, but man, it releases you, and it releases those people. I wasted a lot of years hanging on to that. Worry, envy, strife, all those things. There's victory in Jesus. And man, I am free. And how cool is it? That despite my anguish and my hurt and all the things I was doing wrong, God still used me to touch other people.